We're joined at this time by the head coach of the Virginia Cavaliers, Tony Bennett, and student-athletes Kyle Guy and Ty Jerome. The Virginia locker room is open right now for student-athlete availability. We'll take one question for Coach Bennett, then we'll go to the student-athletes. Let's start in the back, on the right side, just to the left of the aisle. Olivia's going to come up and meet Mike.
Hey, Tony, Mike Barber, Richmond Times-Dispatch.
I can't hear you.
That's the back right microphone, Matt.
Tony, Mike Barber.
I can probably hear you if you drop and say it. Go ahead.
Take us through that final sequence. What was your confidence level with Kyle as he went to the line for those free throws?
Yeah, well, it's just an action that we run, and Ty said, you know, if you're open, it's coming, and make that thing, I think. And I thought Kyle, because he had hit a great shot the previous play, and, you know, again, I haven't seen the replay, but someone said they did get in his space and pushed him, but then to make the 3 free throws was terrific. You just keep playing. I said that after to Tracy on CBS. I said, these last 2 games, I said, oh my, you know, you can't, how they ended. We got up 10, and they made some tough shots. And then we had a couple of, I think we stood a little bit and had a couple of tough plays, but we played well in the second half, and then they made the plays. And, you know, I do feel for Auburn, but I feel better for us right now, and I'm just thankful that, you know, these guys stepped up and played the way they needed to, and we got through, survive and advance. I guess that's taken on a new meaning.
We're going to take questions for the Virginia student-athletes, beginning with Gene in the center of the room.
Hey, Kyle, Gene Wong, Washington Post. Can you take us through your thought process where you're standing at the line there, having to have 3 free throws to win the game?
Yeah, these are moments that, you know, every basketball player has dreamed of, you know, hitting a game-winning shot or free throws or whatever. You know, I kind of had that feeling in your stomach, like a good nervousness, like, all right, this is my chance. And, you know, to be able to go to the national championship off of that for these guys and Coach Bennett, I mean, I really don't have the words.
Continuing with questions for Ty or Kyle on the right, Jim.
Thank you. For Ty, on the sidelines, sitting there, as the end of the game was unfolding, you were about to swallow your hand, it looked like. What was going through your head when you were sitting on the bench during those final moments?
It's your fault you were on the bench.
I was just so frustrated at myself. You know, I let my frustration get the best of me, and I picked up my 4th foul, just a bonehead play, and it almost cost us the game. So luckily, you know, we somehow came out on top, so I get another chance to play Monday, but to put myself on a bench and leave my teammates like that in crunch time is a terrible decision.
Back to the center of the room, and please remember your name and media outlet before your question.
Zach Peerless, Augusta Free Press. For Ty and Kyle, you guys had to commit 3 fouls within, you know, several seconds. Kyle, you were the one on the court. Ty, you were going offense, defense. How often do you practice a situation where you've got to get multiple fouls within a few seconds, and then how close to perfection did you guys execute that?
Ty first, please, then Kyle.
We actually practice late game situations pretty often in practice. You know, we'll make our 2 teams, and, you know, we'll say, all right, this team is down 6 with the ball with 1:30. So it's something we've practiced a lot. We run over our late game situations a lot. So, you know, that 3 Kyle hit was off a play that, you know, Coach put in, and everyone did their job screening, and, you know, Kyle hit a super tough shot. And the same with the side out of bounds plays. You know, it's plays we've put in, we've practiced multiple times. So it wasn't just, you know, luck. Like, we worked on that situation a lot.
And Kyle.
Yeah, we definitely take pride in trying to over-prepare. We have a poster in our practice gym in our weight room that says success happens when preparation meets opportunity. And, you know, we did a great job staying disciplined during those last 10 seconds and, you know, making something happen.
2 questions up front to the left. Let's start right here.
Hi, Lucas Weiss, Last Word on Sports. Ty, Kyle, 1 year ago, you're sitting, you know, in the press conference losing to the number 16 seed. A year later, you're now 1 game away from a national championship. Just comment on what that means and how good it must feel for you guys to be so close for redemption to be achieved.
Ty first, please, then Kyle.
You know, I feel like I get asked this question every single round. Every round we advance, and every round I say the same thing almost, and it feels a little bit sweeter, but You know, to think this time last year we were starting our spring workouts, and to still be playing at this point of the season with, after tonight, one other team in the whole country on the stage that you dream about since you're a little kid, it's an unreal feeling, and you know, we're gonna do everything we can to finish the job.
Kyle, same question.
Yeah, not much to add. Just, you know, you guys can ask that question again on Monday.
On the left toward the front, Pat.
Yeah, Kyle, were you waiting for a whistle on that? And then do you have an internal dialogue at all when you're going to a free throw line of anything you say to yourself?
Yeah, I knew. I heard him call it right away. So they were asking me, like, did I know? Because I put my hand and or my face into my jersey, but that was me focusing. I knew they called the foul. I knew that I, you know, got behind the line for 3 shots because, you know, I practiced that. I just literally told myself that, you know, we dream of these moments, and you know, to be able to, you know, make one happen was special.
Next question's in the second row, just in front. Paul.
Paul Woody, Richmond Times-Dispatch. This is for Kyle. How many times have you stood in your driveway on an outdoor court or just in a practice gym by yourself and said 3 free throws to win the game or tie the game, and after Tennessee called the timeout, it looked like you didn't go into the huddle. You just sort of walked around the edge. Were you trying to not get caught up in any conversations?
Yeah, I didn't want anything to do with my teammates or my coaches at that time. I just wanted to, you know, be in my own space. I knew they had confidence in me, so I was just building up my own. And I, you know, practice. Huh? Oh, yeah. No, I mean, you know, we all practiced those shots as a kid. They're probably a little bit more spectacular than free throws, but whatever it takes to win.
Final question for the student athletes up front toward the right.
Matt Cox, 3-man weave. Just given the range of emotions in that game, is it more jubilation or relief you're feeling right now?
That's for Kyle. You want to take them?
I don't really have the words for how I feel. I really don't. And, you know, I've been pinching myself the whole time I've been in Minneapolis because it just doesn't really feel real. But I'm just so happy right now. I'm so proud of, you know, he played freaking phenomenal. I mean, 21, 9, and 6. Like, he carried us through this game. Obviously, Coach did a fantastic job preparing us and, you know, making the adjustments during the game. And, you know, I think it's a little bit of both. And just really happy right now.
We want to thank Ty and Kyle for joining us here in the main interview room. They're going to head back to the Virginia locker room, which is still open for student athlete availability. Looking for questions for Coach Bennett. Let's start in row number 4 on the left of the aisle. Your name and media outlet.
Coach Dane Mizutani with the St. Paul Pioneer Press. DeAndre Hunter had a huge stretch early in the second half. Just how big was his, you know, imposing force in kind of getting that game turned around?
I'm having a hard time hearing. There's a fan.
Matt, can you turn the monitor up a little bit?
Yeah, I thought his second half was key for us. I thought we played good basketball in the second half to get up that, but he attacked. First half, you know, they're athletic and they're quick, but DeAndre really did the things we needed. Got us different kinds of baskets, you know, whether he could drive, got a couple offensive rebounds, and really a very strong second half for sure.
Coach, a little further back to the left of the aisle. Mike.
Tony, Mike Barber, Richmond Times-Dispatch again.
Go ahead.
Okay. I wanted to ask you, in the first half, Auburn did not hit many three-pointers. You guys did not turn the ball over, and yet they were right there and had the lead at halftime. How concerning was it that it seemed like you were doing what you needed to do?
Well, I thought we had some errors defensively. One, we weren't back the way we needed to against them, and we made a little adjustment at halftime to hopefully help with that. And then we let the ball get in the lane too much. We weren't what we thought we needed to do, impacting the ball handler, even if it got close to a ball screen. They kind of run a dribble drive, and they run these little brush screens, and they were getting downhill, touching the paint, and that put too much pressure. They're so quick, and they went by us, and we needed to collectively, I say, build a wall or impact when we could, and I thought we improved on that in the second half. And, you know, we tried to move them, and it was just they didn't shoot it as well in the second half. But for the most part, we handled the ball pretty well. But, yeah, that was, hey, we're taking care of the ball. But I knew it was our transition defense and how much they were getting in the paint and offensive rebounding, areas that, you're not going to win if you don't clean those up. And then they made the plays down the stretch.
Right in the center, second row, Paul.
Tony, Paul Woody, Richmond Times-Dispatch. You said Kyle making those three free throws was terrific. Is that a strong enough word for that situation? That you've got a career, a season, so many things on the line.
Yeah, I mean, the fact that he hit that shot before it and then stepped to the line. And, we were 6 of 12 from the line, and we struggled from the line. But for him in that setting to do it, yeah, it doesn't get much better than that. Terrific. Sorry, that wasn't a strong enough word. Amazing, spectacular. Is that? I don't have many more. I didn't graduate from UVA, so my vocab's a little limited.
Good word still, Coach. We're going to go to that same area of the room.
Hey, Tony. Zach Peerless, Augusta Free Press. When Ty came out with the 4 fouls, did you have any words for him? And then how did you try to weigh when to bring him back in?
Yeah, I said, why'd you do that? He just thought, we needed him on the floor, and I was going to put him in once we got into the media timeout. But I thought if we can get him at the 3-minute or under 3, we'll put him back. They shot a shot, and I don't know if we missed a block out, but we got a miss. And then they offensive rebound and got it back. And at that point, I think he went in around the 3-minute mark. I don't know when he picked up his 4th foul, 4.5, 5 minutes, somewhere right in there. It was before the media. And it was really going to be either under the media or at the 3-minute mark. And we needed him back on the floor. I think we went down by a couple possessions at that time.
Front row center, Adam.
Tony, Adam Zagori, congratulations.
Thank you.
These guys just said they've been answering questions after every game about last year.
Yep.
Can you just kind of put into perspective what it means to come from that to within one game of winning a national championship on Monday?
It's a great story. It is. I told those guys, and I said it, I think, at the press conference here 2 years ago. We were playing in Orlando against Florida and just getting blown out. And they were at the scores table. One was in, and there was maybe 2 or 3 minutes left. And I huddled down by him, and I said, this is going to change. It's okay. I said, but take note of this. I said, we're going to do this. Then after the UMBC game, we sat in the holding area after that loss, and I said, we're not going to put up Isaiah or Devin, our 2 seniors. Ty and Kyle, I said, we're going to be up there, and it's going to be one of the hardest things to be facing that press conference. I said, but it starts now. I said, it's going to mark something. And I said, we're going to get through this, but you guys need to be up there with me, and we need to go through this. And then we need to go through next year together. We need each other. I knew it was going to be such an important time in our lives, however it played out. And so to see them, I kind of earmarked those guys after that game in Orlando 2 years ago. And then to put them, that's not a fun setting for anybody in the press conference. And now to sit with them here, brings great joy to my heart. It really does, because it's good. That's all I can say, and I'm so thankful. And again, whether it happened or not, I would have been so thankful for what they've done for this program and our bond through this all.
Final question for Coach Bennett on the left side.
Coach Lucas Weiss, last word on sports. Sincere congratulations on the win.
Thank you.
You come from a basketball family with your father and your brother.
I don't have a brother, with my sister.
Oh, your sister. Sorry, your sister.
I always wanted a brother, but no.
Just comment on what credit do you owe them to getting into where you are now, 1 game away from a national championship?
Huge. I mean, so many people have poured into my life, basketball-wise, but I've said this before. What my dad did for me, he took Wisconsin to the Final Four. He retired, and then he decided to come out of retirement. We went to Washington State, and I was his assistant or associate head coach, and he took the Bullets for 3 years. It was hard. He lost. He had been at the top, and he did it. And he said, I can't go anymore, but I think you have a chance. I don't know if you can turn it around, but talk about a father's love for a son in that regard. He basically, at the end of his career, said, I'm going to try to help you rebuild it. Here you go, son. You got a chance. I wouldn't be here without that. And then my sister, Kathy, was a great player and a great coach. But my wife, my children, my mom, I understand when you're a coach's son, it's everybody. So I'm humbled. And I stand in awe of this journey. I really do, and I really am thankful for it. And but mom, dad, wife, kids, sister, it's all there.
We'd like to thank Coach Bennett for joining us here in the main interview.